Hi Atari friends, in this video I would like to show you how to upgrade the firmware of the Ultimate SD card to the latest firmware written by Jonathan Halliday and that support loading of XCX files. To do the firmware upgrade, you will need a USB blaster. You can buy one from eBay for about $5, and you will need a PC laptop to connect the USB blaster and do the firmware upgrade on the cartridge. The cartridge has an upgrade port on the back side of the unit. So the first step, we will need to do two things before we get started. We will need to go to the Altera website and download the drivers and software to do the upgrade. And we will need to go to Jonathan Halliday website and download the new firmware for the Ultimate card. So let's get started.
Let's start by creating a new folder on the desktop. Let's call it Ultimate New, and open our browser and let's go to Jonathan Halliday website. And on the right side of the screen you will see a link to the Ultimate SD multicard page. Click here and you're going to scroll down and look for the link to the GitHub project. Here it is. So now we are on the Ultimate Card GitHub project. I'm going to click on Programming Files, New Firmware XCX Loading, and we're going to save these two files inside the new folder we just created. So we are saving the two POF files into the folder we created on the desktop. Now let's go to the Altera download site. It's dl.altera.com. And we're going to click on additional software. And we're going to look for the Quartus Prime Programmers and Tool. Now, if you have a 32-bit operating system, Windows 7, then you should download the 32-bit version of the Programmer and Tools. I have the 64-bit Windows machine, so I'm selecting that and click Download Files. Now, if you don't have an account, you can create one for free. Just click here, enter your email address. They will send you a link to your email account with a confirmation code to click and create your own username and password. It's a free account. Once you register, you will get a username and password where you can log in and start the download process. So now we're just waiting for the website to let us in and start downloading software and tools. Try again. Okay, so we're just going to download the installer. Again to the same Ultimate and execute the installer to complete and download the driver and programming tool. Let's save it again on the inside the desktop. In the new folder we created. The file is about 360 megabyte, and we just have to wait for it to finish and download it. Into our computer. So depending on your bandwidth and speed, it may be quicker or slower. So let's wait until we have the installation file so we can proceed. Okay, we're almost done. Couple more seconds. Okay. So now, if we will go to the folder we created, we can see the programmer setup tool here. So let's just execute and install it. Let's agree and install it. It will be the default installation folder will be Altera and the version of the programmer tool. So now it's unpacking and installing the Cartrdige programmer tool. Okay, almost finished unpacking the files. And we are done with this part. Now just remember not to connect your USB blaster into the computer until you finish installing all the drivers. So now we're going to install the drivers first. And it will tell you that the Altera USB is ready to be used. Okay, let's minimize this tool. And let's plug the Altera USB device into the computer using the USB cable that came with the unit. So I'm going to plug it first, and it will identify the device. Let's go to the device manager to see if the Altera driver has been installed properly, and we can see that it is installed properly. We see the driver here. If for a reason you see the Altera USB driver under unknown devices, then you can browse to your C drive into the Altera folder the drivers are inside that folder, and just point it. We are using the USB blaster and we are under 64, so just point it to the right directory and it will install the correct driver from this folder. So if for a reason the driver installation has not been automatically done, you can tell it to do manually and just point it to the right folder where the driver exists. So now we have the software. Sorry, that's the software, that's the programmer standard edition tool. We have the drivers installed, and we downloaded the firmware file for the Ultimate cart from the GitHub repository. So next thing that we have to do is just connect the USB blaster to the Ultimate cart and start the upgrade process.
Okay, we are back, and now we will do the upgrade to the firmware after we installed the drivers. So the first thing we have to do is we have to take out the SD card from the Ultimate, and we're going to connect the Altera USB blaster to the Ultimate cartridge, plug it inside the Atari machine, and on the other end connect the USB blaster to the PC using the USB cable that came with the unit. Let's connect it to the computer. The USB port should be right here. Here we go. Let's put it up. And we're going to switch on the computer so the cartridge will be powered on. Now inside the Quantos Prime programmer tool, there is the top left button that's called hardware setup. We're going to click that, and in the drop-down menu select the USB blaster. Now we're going to click on the third left button that says Auto Detect, and it will try to detect the Altera chip inside the Ultimate cartridge. Now if it failed to detect it, it means that you probably plugged the connector in the wrong direction. So in my cartridge, it allows to connect the plug in either upwards or downwards position. So I'm going to change the sides, and I'm going to click Auto Detect again, and it gives me three options. I'm going to try with the first one. And let's wait for the software to detect the Altera. So it did detect the Altera. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to upload the firmware file for the Ultimate card into the programmer. So under the where it says File, just click, double click, and go to the desktop and the folder where we saved the POF file that we downloaded from GitHub. And I'm going to check two options here. One is the program configure, and the second one is to verify. And once we did that, I'm going to click on the start button to start and do the upgrade process. So there's going to be a progress bar here that is going to start and filled out in percentage until we get the process finished. So we are now 99% done. And it says 100% successful. So let's see if it works. We're going to switch off the computer, disconnect the USB blaster, and turn on the machine. And here we go. We have the new loader inside our Ultimate card. Let's switch off the computer, put the SD card with executable files into the Ultimate. Yeah, and we have exe files that we can go in and select to load. That's all, guys. It's a long process, and I apologize for the audio quality. In this video, it's the first time that I'm doing screen capture, and I hope that it helped you. See you next time. And we will need to go to Jonathan Halliday website and download the new firmware for the Ultimate card. So let's get started.
Let's start by creating a new folder on the desktop. Let's call it Ultimate New, and open our browser project. Here it is. So now we are on the Ultimate Card GitHub project. We're going to click on Programming Files, New Firmware, and let's go to Jonathan Halliday website and on the right side of the screen you will see a link to the Ultimate SD multi-cart page. Click here and you're going to scroll down and look for the link to the GitHub.
And you will need a PC laptop to connect the USB blaster and do the firmware upgrade on the cartridge. The cartridge has an upgrade port on the back side of the unit. So the first step, we will need to do two things before we get started. We will need to go to the Altera website and download the drivers and software to do the upgrade. Hi Atari friends, in this video I would like to show you how to upgrade the firmware of the Ultimate SD card to the latest firmware written by Jonathan Halliday and that support loading of XCX files. To do the firmware upgrade, you will need a USB blaster. You can buy one from eBay for about $5.